This longer than usual video will be well worth the watch. My name's Des here at Grok Trade, and this is the weekend edition, good through Sunday, July 13th, 2014. I'm going to give you a very clear understanding of where the markets are right now and get into some stock picks, looking at big picture down to small picture, giving you a very clear understanding where we're at in the markets and opportunities to take this coming week. S&P 500 on a monthly chart. We're in an uptrend that's bullish, but we're too extended to the upside. You'll see we're very extended near a resistance area. If we go to a weekly chart on the S&P 500, sure enough, been in an uptrend, multiple swings here at resistance. Now we have a bearish harami. We are looking to drop both on the weekly and the monthly. And on the daily, we've already done so. We had a rising wedge with a bearish divergence on the MACD. We did break down. I expect a short-term pop and then a drop. And we'll have our inverted head and shoulders on the major markets is what I'm foreseeing will take place fairly soon. As far as the NASDAQ is concerned, here is the monthly chart. We're up in an uptrend above all major moving averages. Kind of a pinching pattern here. It's a rising wedge. That rising wedge, we have a doji so far for the month, but we're not quite at a resistance point, not yet. On the weekly chart, you'll see that the weekly broke down back in, it looks like March, and then has since rallied, but we have a crossover on the weekly MACD, centered oscillator, with a bearish harami. It looks like it's going to want to drop. If it does start to drop, I expect to find support at 43.36 right here. On the daily chart, rising wedge did break down after the bearish divergence. As expected, we're starting to get a bounce off the rising 20-day moving average here on the NASDAQ, fully expecting it to maybe rally going into this next week and finding resistance soon, building a double top. That would be resistance, and it would drop, and we'd have a double top trend reversal pattern. Going into gold, I'm going to get into gold, silver, and also a bunch of the tech stocks and some of those stock picks that I told you about. Before we do this, go over to the website, and there are some stock picks that we have right here on the V newsletter. We do stock picks each week. We have a chat room. If you're a day trader, come be a part of that. 30 days free, no credit card needed. And 201, this is more formalized trading education that you can start right now. Click this link and get registered. Then the mentorship. That is where everyone drives to. This is the cat's meow and where everybody wants to be. We want to mentor you, so we're here to educate you. So gold on a monthly chart has been dropping. It looks like we're starting to build an inverted head and shoulder trend reversal on the monthly chart. It's very bullish opportunity here. If you look here on the weekly chart, we're in a big symmetrical triangle above major moving averages, but we have to see if we will break out of this symmetrical triangle or break down. The jury's still out on that. I foresee it going further into the apex of the triangle before it makes its move. If you look at a daily chart, though, on the daily chart, what we do see here is a rising wedge. The rising wedge looks like a breakdown that could happen fairly soon. We do have a bearish divergence taking place on the MACD. So short term, I see gold dropping. Long term, I see it as a big time bullish opportunity. Here's silver, monthly chart. Falling wedge, double bottom, almost a triple bottom, and boom, getting nice pop here. This is a great buying opportunity on long term. On the weekly chart, already had a triangle. It already broke out of that triangle. So this is a big time bullish move. On a daily chart, that was a weekly, on a daily chart, it looks like we're looking for short term weakness, and that would coincide with the bullish market going short term, and that's what I'm expecting. Going over here to Apple. By the way, I own Apple right now, but I'm going to paint a pretty grim picture for it. On the monthly chart, we're at major resistance. Resistance here at 95 area. We're at 95 area right now. This is big time resistance, huge resistance. On the monthly chart on Apple, if you go to the weekly chart, a big time resistance. Resistance, we dropped. Resistance, we dropped. Resistance, we dropped. Resistance, we're at big time resistance on the monthly and weekly. I say Apple is a sell. If you look here on a daily chart, it's a rising wedge near a resistance area with a big fat bearish divergence. Apple might be a better short right now than a long. Amazon on a monthly chart pulled back, is now bouncing. Not too bad, but the volume is decreasing on that bounce. Don't like that on the monthly chart. The weekly chart, we've been going down. We are popping higher, and we're above moving averages. That's bullish. On Amazon, if you look at the daily chart, on Friday we had an explosion to the north. Really nice. If you look here, volume, big volume, very nice. See that momentum and buyers coming in. That's very nice, stopping at the 200-day moving average. Go to Facebook here on the monthly chart at resistance. We're right there at it on the monthly. If you go here to the weekly, we're at resistance, but we're building a symmetrical triangle above moving averages, so it's more bullish than it is bearish right now. And if you look at the daily, though, the daily's broken. We went higher. We hit resistance, we failed to hit resistance, and we broke down. Broke down with a MACD bearish divergence. Now we're rallying back. I foresee it maybe getting as high as 68 bucks again. That would give us a double top trend reversal pattern, and that would be problematic for Facebook. If you look here at Google, on the monthly chart, we're in a nice uptrend. We rally, but the problem is we can't get off this lower line. We need to go up to this upper resistance line, but the trajectory that these candlesticks are on has us pointing just up the line. That's bearish move. We could continue to do that, but I think this 600 and some change area, 610 bucks or so, is going to act as resistance, and a breakdown could happen on this Google monthly chart. The weekly chart, big drop to support. Now we're zigzagging higher, almost a bear type flag. If I were to pull in a Fibonacci, we're well above the 61.8. So a lot of confusion here with this one. Wouldn't call it a bear flag. It's beyond that right now. But we do have a hanging man reversal pattern. Be interesting to see if that drops. On the daily chart, we're in a big rising wedge with the bearish divergence. We are bouncing off the rising 20-day moving average on Google. The question is, can it rally back higher to get to this 600 or even the 610 area? If you look at GoPro on the monthly, it's just one big long candlestick. It's an IPO. On the weekly chart, we last couple weeks went higher. Now we have what's called a bearish engulfing pattern. That's a reversal pattern on the weekly chart. GoPro on the daily chart looked great. It stopped at the 38.2 Fibonacci. However, on Friday, it broke way down on that, and it did so on an uptick on volume. So that was no good. And so volume is no good on GoPro. Showing a lot of weakness right now. If you look at LinkedIn on the monthly chart is broken. It pulled back, broke a trend line, trying to rally back up, but all of a sudden, after just a couple months here bullish, it's already given us a bearish engulfing pattern, promising to go lower. If you look here at the weekly chart, big symmetrical triangle, big drop down across in the MACD. We're getting ready to challenge the support area. We're in the apex. This thing looks like it's ready to break downward. And if you look at the volume, big tick higher on that bearish volume. On the daily chart, we were going higher. We get up here, hit our head at the 100-day moving average, and then come crashing down. Now we're below the 50-day moving average. So it's broken on the daily already. Microsoft, look here at the monthly chart, up, and away. Problem is, the volume is dropping. It's going higher on fewer people trading the stock. The weekly chart, it's a beautiful rising wedge, huge, and a big bearish divergence on the MACD. Look for a short on Microsoft. On the daily, we're in an uptrend. All looks well. We ended the day on Friday fairly bullish. Chop around up here. As long as it stays in this trend, that's bullish. But if it starts to break down, look for a significant move downward. This is Netflix on the monthly chart. Big rising wedge. We're at resistance. We tagged it and we did pull back. And it's going higher last few months on dissipating volume. On the weekly chart, you'll see that we have what's called a broadening formation, a megaphone, an alligator mouth. Stay away from those. Those are very bearish. I'm foreseeing a drop. You do have a crossover on the MACD with a negative tick on the histogram. If I look at volume, you'll see that it dropped on an uptick on volume. No good. And on the daily chart, we were going higher on a rising wedge, and you'll see a big bearish divergence. It's broken. It did break down below some of the moving averages. I maybe get an uptick higher to 460 area and maybe down, giving us a head and shoulders trend reversal pattern. Twitter on monthly, down, now rallying, so it's picking up a lot of volume down here at this lows, so buying opportunities here. If you look at the weekly chart, problem is I don't think we're done dropping. Looks like we have a big falling wedge and we have an uptick on volume on this drop. As soon as we can break out, especially if we get over 4140 area or higher, would be buy big time. A great opportunity. On the daily chart though, it's broken. We were going higher. We broke down. Now we're just caught up in moving averages. A lot of problems. Now, do you remember just a minute ago I was telling you about different products and we have a Stock Picks V newsletter? Well, we have those on the bull and bear side. And on the bear side, our biggest winner on the bear side was LQDT. And for the week, it made a big move downward. So that's really nice. We were around $16. Now it's at $13. It's dropped 3 points on bigger volume. Another one was CSOD. This one's bear flag, breakdown on uptick on volume. Very, very nice. That was down 11%. LQDT, the one I just showed you, was down almost 18%. DWRE is down more than 10% for the week. Big rally and then boom on an uptick on volume. There's more. DDD was 10%. Bear flag starting to make a move down. Don't like the volume as much here. I could go on and on. A ton of bear opportunities, a lot of opportunities to go short in the markets. Now, long video, but I gave you a ton of meat to chew on. Watch it a couple times. Stop on the stocks that you're interested in. Make good, solid, educated decisions in the markets. We're here to help you be more educated. We're here to make you a better trader. Let us help you reach your full potential in the live markets. We're here to help. Take care and safe trading.